my whole life has been dedicated to kind of making it yourself. And a lot of that's just recreation. But a lot of it is just discovering and rediscovering the wisdom of old that was held for thousands of years, the accumulation of human knowledge that happens when people work the same material over and over, and everything gets better and better because they share, and everything gets better and people get better at it, and the accumulation helps people be smarter. And again, part of Melody's in my life has been to preserve that whole thing and try to remember the bathwater and the baby. Maybe do good things, better things with the bathwater, and save the baby, maybe. The good parts of the baby. I used to have a book about peasant revolutions, and somewhere when water wheels were being invented and they were began be widely used to grind grain into flour. The Lord had his water-powered grist mill, and all his peasants or serfs or whatever you want to call them had their own little querns that they would grind their grain at their own home. So he said, hey, you guys have to use my water-powered mill from now on. And they go, and he said, oh yeah, you are. So he went and confiscated all their querns. It's Querns. Small little, they're just miniature grain mills made out of 2 stones, hand cranked. You know, they're all over the world. And he paved his courtyard with those. So 50 years later, there was a peasant uprising, and the first thing they did was they went and got their querns back from out of his courtyard. So, I mean, it's bordering on genetic memory that in 50 years later, that'd be the first thing they do is go back and get their independent, their local control. Even though the mill was fairly local, we're talking do it at my rate, I get everything I make, as opposed to take it to your mill, get my price, and take your word for, you know, I'm getting back what I put in and at fair profit. So in a way, that's a lot of what I see is that's a centralization over local control, but on a very primitive, small scale. But now that's where I see hemp coming in, is that it's so easy and it's so local. And solar is very parallel. The same, solar has the same problems in that it's too easy, not conducive to be centralized, and you know, slow return because they're getting better and better and cheaper, and once you have one, you're energy independent, and they who have control, and we can't blame them because that's human nature to try to hold on to your control. They want to keep control and they want to keep it centralized. So hemp and solar are just neck and neck in that market, I think. Too easy, too local. It doesn't fit the criteria of complicated, centralized stranglehold on the people. But that's what Gandhi was about too, was, you know, in the Indian cotton from India was grown in India, sent to England to be processed into cloth, and then sent back to India to buy at whatever price. And it was actually against the law for them to make their own cloth. So that was part of the revolution, was stopping that ridiculous decentralized or centralized system